just go over the high points and I'll give Ms. Manorino a chance to respond.
Motion set aside to default judgment. It all arose due to an issue surrounding my client's driveway, which the city has alleged.
They just do under the window.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just a moment.
Go ahead, I muted that.
Not the case, Your Honor. It's not being used for a drug draft. Basically, the whole issue had arose when my client had hosted a memorial gathering with friends and family. And they had warned the police at the time of this event, of course, because they just wanted to make sure that the city was aware if there were any issues. And basically, my client, Mrs. McAllister, was his wife, had received a noise violation ticket, which we had handled previously. This matter, Your Honor, is a completely separate ticket that came as a surprise to my client because there hadn't been any noise issues at the time of it being issued. And basically, Your Honor, we appeared originally, counsel and I had agreed for the first adjournment of the matter because my clients wanted to discuss directly with the city. My office had previously discussed with the city a few months ago as well, and that there were subsequent discussions that my client wanted to discuss directly with the city without both counsel present. So that meeting date was scheduled the second day after our original hearing here in court. So I had contacted counsel to request an adjournment so that our clients can go ahead and discuss directly. Counsel did not object to that adjournment, and unfortunately there was a misunderstanding as far as that getting translated over to the court. I know my client be held accountable for that. If anything, I'll take the blame for that. I have to take the blame for it. So basically at this point, my client does want to just get the ticket because again, there is no commercial use of this property, of this driveway whatsoever. So he does have valid defenses and there's raised defense in this matter, and there is good faith for this default to be set aside.
Your Honor, the strongest evidence of the commercial use of this property come from the defendant's own mouth. There is a website, there is business, there is promotional materials that he's posted on numerous social media channels. The memorial event was something he posted on TikTok inviting anyone who saw the video to. There were people in staff t-shirts, including the defendant. This is the idea that we're going to argue to the court that this is not a commercial business flies in the face of every single word that has come out of the defendant's own mouth. It's not remotely true. And so for the court to set aside the default based on a misunderstanding, I could see where the court would come to that conclusion. But the issue is there's not a meritorious defense using the defendant's own words about what the property was being used for. And I understand that there's going to argue that they haven't been using it recently, but the problem is that the businesses are still active businesses with the state. The videos were still posted, and what we would have would be the defendant's own word that he's not going to continue to use this property as a commercial property, except after the last time they told the township they weren't going to do it, they continue doing it, so we got to do phone noise complaints. The issue is that the township has asked them to provide plans for what they're going to do with the driveway. We had a meeting where council, the McAllisters, myself, the building department were all present, and during that meeting, the township made it very, very, very clear to the McAllisters that the way that the township is going to be comfortable that this is not going to be used as a drift track any longer is to remove the portions of the track that you can drift around, i.e. all of the curves and the corners. The plans they submitted were we're going to leave the driveway as is and we're just not going to use it. The township was not agreeable to that, obviously, because that was against our entire position. And we've been waiting for months now for them to submit new plans. It's been nothing but adjournment request, dragging it out. The meeting that they scheduled in the building department, they canceled at the last minute and asked to reschedule it. The township's not asking for engineer drawings, but for whatever reason, the defendant seems to think that that is what the township's requesting, despite the fact that the township has repeatedly said, we just need something that can be rough sketch, like just nothing formal, nothing engineered, but just something to give us an idea of what they're proposing so we can have some discussion. We can't have discussions when their plan is, we're going to leave everything as is, and we're asking you to trust us when we've given you no reason to trust us. Then we're going to keep our word. So there's really, The way that we conveyed, should have conveyed to the court that the quick case being adjourned was by notifying the court. That didn't happen. And there's no defense to the ticket. There's obvious commercial use of the property from the defendant's own words. We would ask the court to deny the motion.
All right, so counsel, even if I give you the good cause for the default, I don't see the meritorious defense.
I mean, also to provide some clarity as far as the company itself. That company Sideways is actually a clothing company. And my clients are in the process of getting an actual commercial-based drift track in place in a whole separate city with the proper licensing and the proper planning and making sure that everything is in place in order to have an actual drift track. That's not relating to this Van Buren Township property. It's completely separate. And like I said before, the main complaint was from that blood memorial event. Unfortunately now, whenever anyone in the community is hearing any type of noise, they're automatically assuming that it's my finding. And that's not the case, because officers have appeared several times to my client's property and they've all showed up and said, why are we here? Nothing is happening. At this point,
So let me ask you this, sorry to cut you off. I'm assuming, I know nothing about drift tracks, but from what Ms. Manarino said, this roadway has a number of curves in it, including like a loop. Is that right? Okay. Nobody puts a driveway in like that. Nobody in the history of mankind puts a driveway in like that. So are you going to be able to establish at hearing that this other site that they've been working on has been in place since before November of 2025?
as far as the exact timing goes, Your Honor, but I do know that it's something that's been in the works as far as, of course, them having a company that they're working on establishing and building up for this track purpose. And as far as the proposal goes, in order to handle the current driveway that's in place, my client had previously submitted a proposal where they wanted to build different structures on their property in order to make use of this driveway. My client's a car enthusiast.
But it's not a driveway. It's not a driveway, counsel. Under any stretch of the imagination, nobody puts in a figure-8 driveway. They put in figure-8 tracks. Motion's denied. $230 is what you owe us, Mr. McAllister. When do you want to pay that?